brightest day, and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light!
Hey guys, it's StarrySky, and I'm bringing you my Ice Range loadout and the rotation behind it. So let's go straight to the loadout, and I'll go through it with you. Okay, so please remember this is how I like my loadout, so feel free to change it in any way you feel more comfortable with. So from left to right we have Wintry Tempest, Resonating Gale, Frost Blast, Ice Bash, Impaling Ice, and the Supercharged Blizzard. Okay, so the main reason we got Wintry Tempest for is for an AoE, damage over time, and to inflict frostbite. So these two skills can benefit from the wide range of AoE and take full advantage of the additional damage that the frostbite will give them. Plus, with this skill here, if you use it on top of Wintry Tempest, it will create an additional damage, so anything within that area will take more damage. It looks like double ticks on the Wintry Tempest. And now Frost Blast is normally it's quite terrible by itself, but in this loadout there is actually a way to bump up its damage quite a bit, so it can turn out to be quite worth the cast time it has. Now I've tried a load of different skills, and to be honest, I would say Ice suffers at range, and most of the skills it has are better for melee. But with this, I'm more than happy with this loadout to deal a lot of damage. Okay, so then we have Ice Bash, which is, I will go through this why. Now this skill is critically important to making Frost Blast that much better, which I will go through in a moment, why Ice Bash is really good. And then pretty much our boss killer. We can use this as part of a rotation of our bosses at 50% or below, but mainly it's good for when it's at 35%, so we can get like crits of like 3.5k and higher. And this is just our AoE supercharge. Okay, so the whole point to this one is pretty much just to cause as much AoE damage as possible while we are trying to enhance Frost Blast. Because the damage for the cast time, normally for the cast time the damage isn't worth it, but in this loadout, for the cast time the damage is actually quite worth it. So pretty much the rotation is going to be is Wintry Tempest clipped with Ice Bash. So pretty much press Wintry Tempest and then immediately press Ice Bash to clip the animation of Wintry Tempest, I should say the cast time. And then what we do is we immediately go into Frost Blast to make the take the additional damage from the frostbite, and to get the boost from Ice Bash, because Ice Bash's boost only lasts for 12 seconds, so we need to take immediate effect of it. And then as soon as we've used Frost Blast, we go into Resonating Gale. Now this is this is an AoE skill, and also with while Wintry Tempest is still up, it has a chance to create an icy field which will do more damage, more AoE damage, and damage over time. So all in all, this does create a lot of damage. Okay, so pretty much. So the main weapons I use for this one, since in this loadout you don't have much time to use your weapons. For raids like Thermoscara, Morph with ads, I like to use the rifle, because you can right click in between some of your skills just to get that extra grenade for more AoE. And for single targets like BG, all that kind of stuff, I find Brawler quite useful because we're not going to have much time to use a weapon again, so we're only going to be using the right click function, and Brawler has a nice simple right click which deals quite a lot of damage for a single target. So they're the two weapons I do recommend for using this particular range loadout. Okay, so I've already got my Brawler equipped, and let's just said for this one I'm not going to be using my Omat trinket, I'm going to be using my Atlantean trinket, but since I don't have the Frost trinket I would be using that else. because I want to be able to boost my might stats to make more of Frost Blast, because this loadout is pretty much built around Frost Blast, how to make it and improve its damage. So first of all, I'll go in for, so first of all, what we're going to do is I will show you what I mean by clipping Wintry Tempest. So all we're going to do is literally press Wintry Tempest and then immediately press Ice Bash. So as you can see, we immediately clipped it, so we don't have to put up with the horrible time it takes just to cast it. And the reason why I say Ice Bash is critically important to Frost Blast 4 is because of all these stats. We get a 10% critical weapon attack damage, but that's not what we're really looking at though, since we aren't going to be using our weapon a lot. We're more interested in this one, the 10% critical ability attack damage. Now, since Frost Blast damage is not so good, but with this loadout it is really good, this will boost it up by an extra 10%. So when it does crit, say if it crits 1000, we're going to get that extra 10% on top of it to boost its damage quite considerably. And since we would be using it on top of Wintry Tempest, it's going to get that even more damage since it's taken advantage of the Frostbitten effect. So I will show you what this means. So literally it's going to be Wintry Tempest, clipped with Ice Bash, straight in to Frost Blast. Now, as you can see, the damage from that was quite nice. My highest crit so far with Frost Blast from one of the hits has been 1.2k. So it is more than worth it, and if that's crits on all a big amount of ads in Themyscira and in other particular raids, the damage is just, you know, how can you say it, it's nice. So then, particularly after that, so after we moved on Frost Blast, we want to use Resonating Gale, and the reason for that for it is just to make up for it's a nice AoE skill, and the cooldown time on it is, by the time you've used it, Frost Blast is finished. Plus with Resonating Gale there's a chance to create that additional icy field, so you get some more damage over time on everything within the area. And during the cooldown time of Wintry Tempest and Ice Bash, you can do the rotation of Frost Blast into Resonating Gale twice, and then once you've done that, Wintry and Ice Bash will be finished. So that is pretty much the primary rotation behind this, which I will go completely through now. So Wintry Tempest, clipped with Ice Bash, through Frost Blast, straight into Resonating Gale, back into Frost Blast, and Resonating Gale again. And as you can see, the cooldown time on Wintry and Ice Bash has just finished. But what you want to be doing in between the Frost Blast and Resonating Gale is you want to at least do one right click of your weapon so you can get that much damage, because if you're in Themyscira and you've got your rifle and you've got the grenade, that's going to be like an extra 800 damage from an AoE just from that one grenade, so it does build up quite nicely. So I will show what I mean. I'll quickly equip my rifle. So pretty much it's going to be Wintry, clip to Ice Bash, into Earthfang, another grenade, that one there, and I could have done another Frost Blast and Resonating Gale if I had the power. So once again, we'll do Wintry, clip to Ice Bash, right click, Frost Blast, right click, straight into Resonating Gale, right click, Frost Blast, and after the right click I would have done a Resonating Gale. And then as you've seen, the cooldown on Wintry and Ice Bash just finished, just to start the whole main rotation over again. So that's a lot of AoE from a range skill. And I have tested this out, and the damage on it is nice. So this loadout maximizes the potential of Frost Blast from the crit percent you get from Ice Bash, and from the additional damage you get from Wintry. And since you're using your weapon in between the skills, you're getting that much more AoE from your weapon as well. And then Wintry Tempest is just a nice skill to add on top of it straight after Frost Blast to make that additional extra AoE damage and to get the Icy Field going, which will cause the additional damage on everything within it. So that is a lot of damage. And then of course, then you've just got your Impaling, just to use from when the boss or big ad you can see is at low HP. You can chuck this in between rotations, just to get that big boost of damage. So if you're in BG and you just protect on a single target, you don't have to use Resonating Gale because there's not going to be that much ads. So what you could do would be go Wintry Tempest, Ice Bash, right click, Frost Blast, right click again, and it's straight into Impaling Ice. And then right click again, straight into Frost Blast, and into Impaling Ice again. So that would particularly be more better for a single target. But this loadout pretty much covers single targets, AoEs, and overall just it does really good damage. And then you've got, well, you've pretty much just got your big AoE, Blizzard. So this is good as range because, you know, the range. And the range on, particularly on Frost Blast, is actually not that bad at all. I mean, the range on it should hit from about here. So you don't even have to stand that close to a target to get all the damage from it. So particularly if you're standing that further backwards, and there's like, it could cover a whole big area right in front of you to kill everything. And in between this, if you have a Frost Trinket, make sure you pop that every time just to boost your might that much higher to make the Frost Blast do that much more damage. Because as I said before, this loadout is particularly targeted around Frost Blast, since by itself it is a bad skill, but in this loadout it makes Frost Blast worth the cast time and it benefits it to make it do really nice damage. So the two weapons I recommend for this is a rifle for AoE based raids like Themyscira and maybe Frost One, etc. Single target I recommend the Brawler for the right click function. And so that pretty much covers the range loadout. I hope this range loadout will benefit more Ice DPS now. If there's any questions or any particular anything you would like answered, then leave it in the comment section or send me a personal message. So until next time guys, thanks for watching.